Hey guys, what's going on? Well, just a couple updates for you. The 800 megahertz radios all tested out fine. They're in great shape. They got brand new antennas on them, and I haven't listed them yet. I'm really not too thrilled with eBay right now. They've been real dicks lately. They've been dicks to both buyers and sellers. I don't like their policies. I think they suck. But the long and the short of it is that you really can't reach an audience. You know, I mean, yeah, you can reach a lot wider audience on eBay. It's just that simple. Even though they suck, even though I don't like their new policies, even though I think they fuck their sellers around, I don't like their feedback. I don't like their, I don't like a lot of things about eBay, and right now I'm really pissed off at them to the point to where, you know, I don't even want to deal with them anymore. But at the same time, it's a vicious fucking animal that you have to deal with. You know, it's just like an ex-girlfriend that you know, can't get rid of. It's just one of those things. Anyway, but I do have 800 megahertz APCO P25. All the XTS radios are APCO P25 interoperability. All of them are analog and digital. The XTS2500's, I do have UHF 380 to 470. I've got 3 VHFs, and very good radios. I mean, absolutely, you know, top shelf. They're rugged, they're mil-spec. You know, the Navy SEAL teams use these. They're bad. They're just bad to the bone. Some people like the aesthetics of a 5000. I do. And, you know, I like 5000s a little bit more than I like the 2500s. But when you put a 2500 to work, that thing is going to work for you. There's no doubt about it. They're superior radios to any other radio other than a 5000 and an APX. They're just that good. If you've got, you know, if you're on a system right now that is in transition, you know, if there's a lot of departments that are still scrambling to try and meet narrowband compliance, even though it's already been in effect since July 1st. A lot of them, what they're doing is, you know, they've just, rather than, you know, just going narrowband, they've gone to digital. Well, I knew that was going to happen, and it's not like I'm smart. Yeah, I really knew it. You know, I told you so. None of that. It's just that, you know, you see the writing on the wall. This has been going on since 2002. 2003 is really when it kicked into high gear. But, you know, it's a mandate. It's something they can't get around. And the 2012 mandate is just that. It's a mandate. So they've got to, you know, they've got to deal with it. But anyway, 2500s, I've got 3 in VHF. I've got 1 in UHF. Those are all in great shape, as you can tell. They work fine. All the code plugs are set on every radio that I sell. The XTS3000 Model 1s in VHF, I've got 7 of them coming in. Just pulled the trigger on 7 today. They sure as hell weren't cheap. But at the same time, they're mint. And they're going to be both analog and digital. And they've got all the bells and whistles that they need to have. They're ready to go right out of the box. When I get them, I'm going to work the code plugs. I'm going to test them out. I'm going to make sure everything's working on them. I bought radio only on the radios, so I'm going to have to supply batteries and have to supply antennas. You know, I'm running low on chargers. If I can find chargers at a decent price, I'm going to do that. What I do want to address now, well, one thing I do want to address is a lot of the comments that I'm getting. A lot of people are asking questions and comments. there's a problem with YouTube, and really with my ability to comprehend, you know, the internet. I'm not really that good at it, as you can tell. My videos aren't top shelf, and you know, I do the best I can, and I figure, you know, if you don't like it, don't watch it, you know. I mean, it's just that simple. I'm not pimping for subscriptions, I'm not, you know, pimping for likes and all that. You know, if you like them, great. If you don't, it's cool, I don't care. But you know, this isn't a channel that, you know, I don't make my money on YouTube off of, you know, video views. You know, I'm not Jenna Marbles, I'm not iJustine, I'm not, you know, I'm not any of that shit. I don't make video games. You know, these are, you know, my videos are geared towards, you know, radio guys, switchblade guys, and gun, you know, guys who like guns. That's pretty much it. You know, I mean, a car every now and then, you know, a couple things. An air compressor is my #1 video. But anyway, people are asking me about a lot of things, and the thing with YouTube is when they come in, when comments need to be approved, and I've had to make that, you know, make that actually a rule, because I've had a lot of dicks come on, and I really don't want to, you know, pollute my channel with a bunch of comments that, you know, are really, you know, inappropriate. So in doing that, when I get the comments and they're in my inbox, usually what I do is I just go through, I read them, if they look right, I'll just click approve. When I click approve, they vanish. So, you know, sometimes when they do that, if they're on a video that's been uploaded, you know, a month ago, I've got like 438 videos. I think this is the 438th, I don't know. You know, I mean, I've got a lot of videos, so I mean, going down and finding those comments to respond to them, I can't do that. You know, I try to respond as often as I can on the inboxes. So, you know, don't get pissed off if I don't answer you in a comment, in the comment section. You know, I just don't have the time to go through. Once I click approve, you know, on something, sometimes, you know, I mean, I've got other things I've got to do. And you know, I don't have time to answer everybody, but I try to do the best I can, and I think most of the people understand that. Anyway, 7 of these VHFs, they're going to look better than this. They're going to be mint. They're coming in, and so 7 of those. This will make 8. If you need a VHF unit, Model 1, APCO P25. Astro, digital, and analog, you know, they can receive in mixed mode, which means, you know, if you are on a digital system and you're using both analog and digital, you can get both in receive on mixed mode. 800 megahertz, all these have been tested, all of them have gone through, all of them have been UV ID'd. I put a lot of work into these radios before they're listed, and I put more work into these radios. I run serial numbers. When I ship them out with printouts from Prace.com. I don't dick around when it comes to things like that. There's a lot of work that goes into it, and there's a lot of work that goes into it that you won't see, but when you take it out of the box, you will not be disappointed. You know, I will not sell a radio that I would not be willing to live with myself. I won't buy a radio that I wouldn't be happy to own myself. It's just that simple. Anyway, there's several guys right now that have XTS3000 Model 3s. Those radios were bought from an individual that I bought from in the past, and he sold those radios honestly on eBay, and he let them go for very cheap, you know, about $100 a piece for a Model 3. Very good. But what people didn't quite understand was LCDs aren't available anymore for Model 2s and 3s. You know, I mean, an XTS3000 LCD is just, if you go to a dealer, it will not be available. If you can find one, that's great, but one thing you need to understand is just getting that LCD and putting it on the radio does not guarantee that the LCD is going to work. In fact, it will not work. What you need to do is you need to have the firmware upgraded with the LCD Now if you need an LCD, Co has got 8 of them. And there's a lot of people with $100, you know, $110, $100, $110 Model 3s that are missing pixels on the LCDs. Go to Panther. He's got Model 3 housings, very cheap. They're safety yellow, but they're damn nice. You can go pick one of those up. If you need the membrane keypad, usually I think those membranes were in pretty good shape from the ones that I saw. I passed on those radios, but the membranes look to be pretty good. If you need a new one, those can be had, but at the same time the LCDs can. So if you need an LCD and you want it to be on your Model 3, then go ahead, send me a message to my inbox. There's several people that I know who have bought those Model 3s and they're missing pixels and they're disappointed because, you know, they're having issues to where they can't find the LCDs. Co has them for $100. He will sell you the LCD, and he will also upgrade the firmware to get that LCD operational. If you need a flash upgrade, he can handle that, but that'll be at an extra cost. He can flash upgrade your Model 3 to whatever you need it to be, but you can't get FPP on a Model 3 3000. They don't make it for the 3000s. 2500s they do. You know, JT1000s they do. APXs they do. JT1000s, MTXs, HT1550s, and Moto Turbos. You know, there are exceptions to those rules. The 2500 and the 5000s and the APX series, which is way out of the ballpark for anybody, you know, with any amount of sanity, you know, to drop legit money down on a, you know, radio. A lot of the radios on eBay don't have tags, and you know, if you're going to get a radio with tags, those things are going to come at a very high premium, and they're not going to be at a cost that most people can afford. But they do have FPP features. You know, not all of them do, but some of them do. But at the same time, if you need to get a screen for your Model 3, inbox me. I'll send you Co's email. You can work the details out with him. He'll upgrade it, upgrade the firmware. He'll install the LCD onto your radio, and he'll ship it back to you after he upgrades the firmware in it, and it will work. So you'll have a very nice LCD. If you probably, I think if you probably got him, or if you probably sent the housing with it, I think he would be fine with switching out the housing. It's not that big of a deal. The housing's already off. I think it'd be alright with that. You'd work that out with him. But anyway, I'm trying to think of anything else. Oh, firmware upgrades on Impress chargers. I've got single chargers that really do need firmware upgrades. They don't really need them, but at the same time, Co has got the kit. If you need firmware upgrades on your Impress chargers, the current firmware is 3.90, I believe. I could be off by, I know it's 3.9 something. I think it's 3.90. I'm just going to say it's 3.90. If it's not, you can correct me in the comments. But he can, for a fee, you can send your chargers to him. He'll use the kit that he's got, and he'll upgrade the firmware. He'll make a notation and a label that, you know, will be on the charger. It won't be a Motorola label, but, you know, I mean, it'll be a label that says what the firmware is. And the firmware that is on some Impress chargers have APXs to take the adapters. You know, sometimes if you've got your radio turned on, like on the 3.40 version firmware, if you put an APX in that charger and you leave your radio on, sometimes it'll take a real long time for that thing to charge. And the 3.90, the current firmware, fixes that bug. And really, I think that's more of a problem with the APX. than it is the actual chargers and radios themselves. I'm not big on APX radios, but they're just way too out of range for me, and for really anybody, you know, sane. But at the same time, you know, there are a few people that can get a hold of them at the right price, you know, and have a lot of enjoyment out of them. They're dual band, you know. I mean, if you want to get a single band, they're XTS3000's. But, you know, I wouldn't spend that kind of money on something that, you know, you could spend a little bit more and get dual band. But at the same time, they're just way too overpriced. And I'm not going to be getting any APX anytime soon. These radios will all be, I am going to send a couple radios out to you. I'll send those out as soon as I can. I'm having 2 of them upgraded. I've got 2 Model 2s that need upgraded. I'm going to keep this one as it is, but I do have a couple Model 2s that need upgraded, and they need upgraded to Model 3s because they'll sell better. So I'm going to go ahead and have that done, and I'll get that package off as soon as I can, but like I said, I've been busy. I know what you've got going on. That's cool. And you know, really, Co will be ready to go on anything you've got, depending on his workload, but you know, he's very quick about it. But anyway, if you do need upgrades, if you need upgrades on your chargers, shoot me a letter or an email to my inbox. You can even do it on YouTube, or if you need the LCD and you know, you need the firmware and you possibly don't know how to change out your case, you can get a case from Panda. It'll be safety yellow, or you can find one somewhere else, but they're tough to find in black. But if you can find one, you could probably send that to him, and I think he would just go ahead and swap the case out, you know, and put the new housing on for you when he does the firmware upgrades. I think he'd be all right with that. You guys work that out with him, but that's really what's going on. If anybody needs 800 megahertz, I've got them. Model 3s with FPP, I've got them in the 5000s. Model 3s, you've seen these 2500s. This is pretty much, I mean, I've got a lot more radios than this, but these are really all that I wanted to load up and put on a video. So you know, if you need multiples of the 5000s, I've got them in the Q split. Q split on a 5000 is range 1. On a 3000, range 1 is 403 to 470. Q split is government split. It's 380 to 470. 380 to 470 just gives you a little more leeway and lets you go a little bit further down in the spectrum to program. But it's a government band split, and it's just a little more versatile. I'm not sure if they actually make 5000s in 403 to 470. If they have, I haven't seen them and I don't remember it. But these are very good radios as well. They're, like I said, they're very rugged. They mean business. I do have impressed batteries. If anybody needs impressed batteries, I've got them for the 2500s. They're brand new, and I've got a good supply of pretty much everything. I do have insert retainers. I just spent about 60 bucks on 3 packs of insert retainers of 5. So I've got 15 insert retainers and 4 of these basals, and it cost me about 65 bucks for them, 60 or 65 bucks. So, you know, if a knob's bad, or if I get a unit in, I'll change that retainer. I'm not going to send a unit out that, you know, where I pull on the knob and the damn thing comes off in my hand. And a lot of the radios will come in like that. It's not acceptable to sell them that way for me, and I don't want anybody to have to deal with that. I'll buy the retainers, I'll put them on, and I'll price the radios accordingly and fairly. But that's pretty much all I really needed to say in all this. But I do have 7 VHF radios that are going to be coming in. I've got widebands waiting for them, I've got batteries waiting for them, and chargers I'm running low on, but if I can find them in bulk at the right price, I'm going to try and grab some. But you know, if you do have chargers in bulk, like about 20 of them, the slant type chargers or the donut type chargers that are tri-chem, get a hold of me, and I'd you know, we'll see what we can do. But anyway, take it easy guys, later on.